2-1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 7th Rule Star Trek Convention Edition. That was your friend Sirach Lofton giving us the 2-1, letting us know when it's time to record. I'm here with your stars, Sirach Lofton and Aaron Eisenberg. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and today I'm joined with Marina Kravchuk. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes. Well, the Americanized version, so that's perfectly
acceptable. Oh, welcome. Where are you from initially? Tell us.
Well, I'm originally from Belarus, so it's a Slavic last name. It's directly transliterated into English. Therefore, you pronounce it according to the rules of English language. So Kravchuk is perfectly fine. In Russian, it would actually be pronounced Kravchuk. So, but
Kravchuk.
Yes, I've been.
Bless you.
The K is
Bless
silent.
You. Bless you.
I thought someone was going to make a crapshoot joke.
Usually it's the Woodchuck joke for some reason that shows up.
What's usually the joke, Marina?
How much would the Woodchuck, the tongue twister? And they tried to do it with my last name. I'm like, that's not funny.
That should be a family song.
Maybe.
How? Yeah.
But I've been in the United States for more than 20 years now, so it's Kravchuk. Marina.
Gotcha.
Fantastic.
Kravchuk.
Before we get too much into it, just very quickly, very quickly,
super quick.
Me, are you and Kate Mulgrew. So I just wanted to ask you very quickly about that memory of yours, meeting her.
Actually, the first time I met Kate was in 2009, but I was a fan before then. It's just 2009 was the actual year that I finally went to a convention, a Star Trek convention. I'm a big fan, so I go to see her performances, public appearances beyond conventions now. Most recent one was her second book just came out, so I went to of her author events, one here in New Jersey and the launch in New York. So it's she's one of my favorites as far as Star Trek is concerned. Mm-hmm. Now she's, like I said, she's just generally a performer whose professional life I follow all the time.
Which convention was that first one? Where was it?
That was here in New Jersey, in Parsippany. And
was it fiction?
Yes, it was. I think they had extra names, like a Northeast Convention in Parsippany, New Jersey. And
they used to have them. The Creation used to do cons all over the United States.
Yeah, and I've done so. Besides Vegas, I've done the New Jersey ones and the Chicago ones.
That's where I met Melissa
as well. So I just came across a flyer that in Borders bookstore, rest in peace Borders, that said, everybody's welcome. Cosplay guests, Q&A panels, and was headlined by Leonard Nimoy and Kate Mulgrew. And that's what basically started the ball rolling. And
would have been funny. Everybody but Star Wars fans are welcome.
No, actually, you know what? Everybody. And that particular convention was the first time I saw across, the multiple genres combined. Well, not genres, multiple fandoms combined.
Right.
There was a Starfleet Jedi present at that particular convention, which blew my mind. I never realized you could mix cosplay like that. So
it's crazy what we can do.
Yeah, he was wearing an operations uniform, a TNG uniform, and a Jedi cloak on top.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah.
And what was your inspiration to go to your first convention?
It got to a point where I was an armchair fan for ever since I came to the United States.
Armchair.
Yeah, basically. So I had subscriptions to Communicator, the magazine. I was following everybody and anybody that I could find online. And this is, I came in 98. So at that point, we haven't had social media yet. But people already had moved on beyond just your basic message boards. So people had, various websites. A lot of the actors actually finally started to get their own pages. So I was following anybody and everybody. Yeah. And it got to a point, 2009, I was already safely working for, I don't know, about 5-6 years. So I had enough disposable income where I could consider travel and doing stuff just for pleasure. And it's just my luck that I saw that flyer, because at that point I'm like, okay, why am I not going to conventions? This is the next step. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
Interesting. Very good. Very good.
A flyer for the New Jersey convention?
Yeah. I still have it.
Sirach, I wanted to ask you, out of the three of us, I think you might be the most well-traveled. Have you been to Belarus before? And if not, what is the closest country to Belarus you've been to?
No, I haven't been to Belarus, and actually I haven't been anywhere in Eastern Europe, which is something that I wish I could do.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, I guess the closest I got was to Vienna.
Well, Europe, it feels smaller. I kind of got used to how big everything is in the United States in terms of distances. Traveling to Vegas, you jump on the plane and 6 hours and you're there. Well, in my case, it's more like 5.5, I think, or 5 hours. Yeah. But and then when I finally had a chance to travel back, to England, to Czech Republic, all of a sudden it kind of like, oh, that's not too bad. You can actually get on the train in
Get on the
Prague
train.
and just go to Germany or go to Poland or go whatever. And it's actually not that bad time-wise. So yeah, you can say that Vienna is not that far away from Belarus.
What about Yugoslavia, or when it was Yugoslavia, which is, it's no longer Yugoslavia? That's a little closer.
Yeah.
Am I right? My geography is correct?
Well,
I've been
south.
to Yugoslavia before the war.
I've been to Prague in the Czech Republic. I think I may be the closest then.
Yeah,
but I went to Yugoslavia.
It's pretty awesome.
I was in Belgrade. Yeah. That was an interesting.
I grew up in West Hollywood, and there were a lot of Russians there. I learned to speak Russian from people in West Hollywood. They taught me about ovoshi frukty, different things like that.
What brought you to the States? How'd you come to the States?
It's something that I don't know at what point the United States started doing that, but there's it's basically, it's like a contest. You can win a green card. That's as basic as it gets. There are certain
the lottery.
Yes,
it's called the lottery.
The lottery, exactly. It's only specific countries that are on the list. So if you are, I think Poland was removed at some point because I guess they were gauged to be at the economic level of development. It was like, we're taking them off the list. They're good enough, by themselves. So Belarus was on the list, and actually, I think majority of the former Soviet republics are still on it. And
wow.
My mother joked, she's like, nobody in the family has ever won even in bingo. And okay, there you go. And that was it. It was just like we won. We got notifications. We had to go to an American embassy in Warsaw. That's the one they use for Belarus. If you were in Ukraine, you would have to go to Moscow. And that was that. We passed the interview with the American ambassador and packed our bags and came here.
Wow. Fascinating.
Yeah. It was June 1998.
Interesting. That would be interesting if it was really a game show and then the winner got the green card. It was like the Gong Show. Each person had to come out and perform, and if the cane came out, I guess you weren't getting that green card. I had no idea there was something like that. Obviously, Sirach did, because he knew right away. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. We have the same thing
today.
We have the same thing in Ethiopia, a lottery system. Where people are able to legally immigrate from another country by this lottery system. So you enter your name into a hat, they pull your number, and you have the ability to.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a bit more extensive, because they do ask
it's a bigger
backgrounds and
it's a big fish bowl. I heard, not like the NBA draft.
Yeah, it's got to be at least a fish bowl. Can't just be a hat.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a large
hat right now.
Container. It's a large container. I actually won the hat on the way here.
It's a Tupperware container. Walk around. I don't know. I feel there's something wrong making this humor on this. I actually never.
Now, I have a question for you. Is Star Trek something that's out there on that side of the country? Is something you watch out there?
It is now. So I am now aware. I mean, they even had, when Star Trek Beyond came out, they had the premiere in Moscow. So it is very much out there. When I was still back in the old country, I heard it. I heard about it. I knew who Spock
whispers.
was. Very approximately, yes.
There was a voice on the wind.
Here's the thing. It's something that the knowledge of the television was extremely limited, even after the Soviet Union fell down.
Interesting.
It's the movies that were, I'm going to be very blunt, they was basically stolen. So the movies were much easier to get into the country. So everybody would know what Star Wars was or anything else. Star Trek, not so much. So I came here and I already spoke English, but it was actually far more British sounding, because that's what they would teach in the schools. Sort of like approximation of received pronunciation. Yeah. But I used to watch a lot of television. So I got extremely lucky because Voyager was midway through. Deep Space Nine was going in its last season.
This is when you started watching, right?
Yeah, and so I got hit from all sides. And then the original series and TNG were on the reruns all the time. And so I caught it and I realized it was all one part of like, these are parts of this one thing. And that's it. It caught me. And
you like OD'd on Star Trek, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And Voyager caught your attention more than any of them, correct?
Well, it's just the first one that I remember actually.
Right.
Scratch that. I remember catching the original series first, and then the original, the movies with the original cast that they were on television. But as far as the stuff that was happening live, it was. You know what? It took me almost a decade to work it out. But if you think about it, I mean, I was thrown into the unknown for all intents and purposes. You have to figure out how to deal with live in a completely different country, speaking completely different language, which is not akin to Voyager being thrown across the entire galaxy. It's kind of like a
interesting. That's a really good parallel that you just connected to. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then you find basically friends and family from complete strangers. So I guess that's kind of like that. And then so Voyager and the Next Generation, probably by extension, because they're both ship shows. Something that I do want to point out, a lot of times people will say, what is your favorite? And that somehow that implies that you don't like the rest of the stuff, which is completely not true. I have watched everything except, I admit it, I have never watched the animated series.
We're done. We can turn that's like the biggest show right there, the animated series.
What do you call yourself?
Unbelievable, Marina.
Hey, by the way, I'm trying to make myself look like I'm in this picture with you. Is that working?
You look good with the hair, though.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to make my hand look like it's kind of coming around, and
it does look like
lift up a little bit. You got to lift up your shoulders a little bit higher.
Yeah, too.
So raise up your. There it is.
Trying.
Now, can you do it with Kate? Can you switch sides? Put her hand on your shoulder.
Oh,
that's so cute. You got to get yourself a little bit higher. I think just a little bit.
So my appreciation of things that are out there, the recorded 700 plus hours of TV entertainment, it has become immensely enhanced by going to conventions, because I've actually met all of you. The only two main cast members that I've never had, three, that I've never had a chance to meet, because, one passed away before I started going to conventions, and that's DeForest Kelly. Same goes to James Doohan. I just missed him. That was as silly and simple as that. And Jolene Blaylock. And she's been off the convention circuit for about 12 years now, so
she's so off the circuit, it's not even funny. I didn't even recognize that name. She's so far off the circuit.
Otherwise, I've had the honor and the pleasure with meeting everybody from all the series, and it's wonderful because now I watch it. I'm like, well, I can pretty much drop anything, and my parents understand when I do that, because they think that I'm going to start talking. It's like, and then in 2012, I talked to Sir Patrick, and they're like, stop doing this. I don't do that. I just I enjoy going to conventions because you actually start to pick up on things that unless you've read it in the interviews somewhere, all the stories that are being told during the Q&A panels. It's fantastic.
Marina, tell us more about Star Trek Las Vegas. What do you like best about it? What about that specific convention? I'm assuming you're going this.
Yes, it's going to be my 10th one. My
10th one.
Yeah, yeah, consecutively. Yeah.
Are you going to cosplay as Nog?
Yeah, I don't at the moment. I used to. I have several uniforms, and how should I put this? Things have changed a little bit in order for me to fit back into them, but I'm gonna get there.
I know Nog's had a few too many donuts too. When I get into my uniform, it's just a little tight. As a matter of fact, I was gonna ask Brooke or Mindy to help me give me a little extra room this year at Star Trek Las Vegas. Although I did go to the gym today, Marina. I know you've been asking about that, wondering if I'm getting fit, and I was here to tell you I am. So I'm getting I've got these little Raisinets popping up right now on my biceps.
Raisinets, nice.
Yeah, just little. I want to get them to Whoppers. Eventually they will. Have you ever cosplayed? Do you cosplay? Jokes aside,
No, as I said, I've done. I just have Starfleet uniforms, the First Contact one and the Voyager one. So, and they were great. And then, like I said, things have changed a little bit, so I need to be changed back so I can fit back into them. So speaking about Vegas in general, it started out with wanting to meet the character. Well, every new fan wants to meet the characters first, and then you realize these are real people. So it was meeting the actor guests. It started from that. I think it starts for most people, and then it progresses to like, oh great, now you can actually meet the people behind the scenes, the people who created the costumes and the props and the special effects and the music and who wrote it, and etc. etc. And then it becomes all about the other people. The rest of the, it becomes your family reunion, the other fans. So right now it's this amazing, immense family reunion, quite literally. I mean, I'm trying to kind of like, well, yes, let's meet up. Maybe we could do a lunch somewhere or a party. Realistically, I'm probably going to just bump into majority of people that I know online that are going for maybe 5 minutes while we're all having drinks at the Masquerade bar. And that's going to be the extent of it for the entire convention. That's going to be okay. Great. See you next year.
We've done a lot of these fan interviews for Star Trek Las Vegas, and the theme of family comes up every single time for Star Trek Las Vegas, and it just had me thinking, Creation's kind of pulled away from doing Star Trek conventions, and I know there's some big ones in England. There's Destination Star Trek. I think there's
I went to one last year.
There's FedCon, and I wonder if the same feeling of family occurs at those as well. And have you ever sought out to go to any of those over into Europe?
Yeah, I did Destination finally last year. So that's my first transatlantic convention. It was to a degree because it just so happens that a lot of STLV people were attending it. So it was a Destination Star Trek with a distinctly Vegas flavor.
Interesting.
Yes.
But did more people come into quote unquote the family, because this would be an extended cousin, right, that we haven't met
exactly
in the family of Star Trek Las Vegas per se, right?
Exactly. Yes, Destination is just younger because STLV has been around for, I'm trying to think, 14 years now, 15, something like that.
That's true.
So it certainly is in class of its own. It's evolved. It's like I said, it's a thing apart, the way it's organized, the way certain things that you can do in Vegas but you can't do in any other convention. So that as far as the convention season, that's certainly my tentpole event of the year. STLV. Everything else, it depends what
second
guests are coming and what events are being planned, other conventions that may catch my eye during the year, and then I'll plan accordingly. But Vegas is it's a fixture. It's there always.
Something I just remembered, Marina, you actually admin in the unofficial Star Trek convention group.
That's
correct?
right. That's correct. Yes.
We have a theme going on here, Ryan.
I'm sorry?
I said we have a theme going on here. Everyone that comes in is an admin of the unofficial Star Trek Facebook.
That's right. You just
we want them to approve our posts. This is how we do it. They say, we'll approve your post, but you got to have it on the show. We have about a minute left, but tell us your experience on that. Do you feel like you're busy, like always keeping the fights at bay, or do you feel like everybody's pleasant, or is it like shocking and boring? What are your thoughts?
It's been an interesting experience because I was part of the group before. I believe it actually started out with a different admin completely, and it was just one of those.
That person was not invited on the show, Maria.
No. That what I'm saying is that the group started out as being a multitude of all these little fan groups. Once Facebook invented groups, so it was much smaller. And then there was right before the 45th anniversary of Star Trek convention was going to be in 2011. I think things started to really pick up in more and more members, and things have started to change, to become far more organized, and there was a purpose to the group now, because you got more people who had experience with the convention being able to advise and direct people. So right now it's one of the most valuable resources. So anybody considering going to the convention, please, you're welcome to join. Any question you can think of, you can ask it. There will be a person in the group who will know exactly what's what and where to go and what to do.
Maybe you should change the name to We Should Be the Official Star Trek.
It's a possibility. No, but it is a very useful group, so I do recommend it. I can't say that we've ever had huge conflicts. We actually try to. That's why the moderation is on. Basically, just to use the situations before they become problematic and bring a whole sort of unnecessary drama and then intensity that.
And you guys do a great job, by the way.
About the convention, about Star Trek. Thank you.
You guys are great. Everything.
And for the most part,
you organize events. You keep everything friendly and light. It's a great group. You're almost hitting 5,000, I believe. Now, sadly, we got to run. We got about 20 seconds left. but in 7 words or less, is Voyager your
Make sure you count them.
Is Voyager your favorite Star Trek series?
Overall, yes. Yes, it is. I mean, when people ask it, I always
that's
say
more than 7.
Yeah, I don't even know where we are now. We're at like 14.
I'm trying.
Why is Voyager your favorite? How about we'll end with that? Why is Voyager your favorite?
Well, with what I was getting at earlier, sort of finding myself in a very strange place and then finding my way into making a home and making a family here. It's kind of like the main connection. And just that's what it became, and Janeway is my captain. I mean, not that I don't have appreciation. I adore. So
yeah, absolutely. There's
not a favorite. We all have favorites.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, the conventions actually enhance my appreciation of everything else. I mean, it may be that Voyager affects me this certain way. I love meeting the guys from the rest of the series. I actually, I'm really looking forward to this year. And then I and Renee are going to be doing a performance during the Gold Weekend. Ticket holders, they're going to be doing a special performance. And I cannot wait because I absolutely adore both of them.
Yeah. Well, Sirach and I are having a big competition at the mini golf. So that's supposed to be
great.
Big. Yeah, that's going to be real big. You
should sell tickets for that.
we already did. I think we sold all 3 of them. So
yeah, all 3 tickets are sold.
We're the 3. I'm the ref. Well, guys, we got to run.
Event.
We got to run. Marina, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for always being so friendly and supportive in your group with everything involved with regards to the Star Trek convention and with regards to this show specifically. We appreciate you, and we thank you.
See you in Vegas.
See you in Vegas, Marina.
See you there. Absolutely.
Bring your golf club. Bring your
and your Nog cosplay outfit just in case.
Might as well.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
For Marina Kravchuk, for Aaron Eisenberg and Sirach Lofton, I'm Ryan T. Husk. Always remember the 7th rule, and we'll see you in Vegas.